Welcome to the Saturday show, and there's nobody watching yet. It's gonna take a minute for the audience to build, but it's good to be here. I am your host, Scott Steen. I'm the lead handicapper at Winners and Winers, and
I'm your co-host, Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over at winnersandwiners.com.
together we make up heading back to the window. It's what we do, and we do that show each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central Time. But today is the special NFL edition where Scott and I are going to go through every NFL game on the board. Browns backer in the house. What up, Double B? Hope your college games are going well for you. I'm in the process of watching Wake Forest piss one away for me, bud. So
you said they had a long run, so I'm guessing they turned it over or something.
Turn it over and downs. Yeah, 4th and 2, couldn't get there. Get there. So, and you know what I'm most pissed off about, although it may work out, we'll see. I was unable to get Presbyterian down or the anti-Presbyterian down because the book that I usually use didn't have it today.
Well, we'll see if that potentially saved you money or not, but for both of us, hopefully Presbyterian falls apart.
Yes, absolutely. They are currently down 7, about midway through the second quarter. So,
long way to go.
Yep. So last week, Scott, we had kind of a snafu as you and I did our NFL show, but we used our new platform to record it, and then neither one of us were smart enough to be able to figure out how to actually post it on YouTube. So it was viewed by no one, but we did a show, and in the spirit of total disclosure, and just for the record, you and I differed on whether we should count this or not because the show didn't air. But I think we absolutely have to count last week's picks. And I had the Bills minus 14. That was a game that I sweated the whole way. They probably shouldn't have covered, but they did. And you had a play that was actually one of my premium plays that I liked very much, and it shit the bed, and that was the Bengals minus the 10.5.
Yeah, but either way, picked up, I guess, a loss there, but let us know in the comment section if that should count or not for a record because nobody saw it. So I guess the question is, did we really give out picks if there was no one to give out picks to?
And I will have to admit that my opinion is perhaps colored by the fact that I won and Scott lost. But
could be.
I'd like to think that I would be honest and do the right thing, but who knows? AJS is in the house. Love the info. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. Well, let's see how we can do here. Oh, by the way, that takes our year record to 4-2-1 for yours truly, and yourself 3-4. So
I'm still putting down 3-3, but sure.
You can't just make believe like they didn't exist.
I think that if you look at the archives, you won't see any picks from last week's show, so we can figure it out either way. Yeah, my play would have been the Bengals minus 10.5.
I love the Bengals in that spot. I still can't believe.
Of course, they're up 11 midway through the fourth quarter.
Right. What are you doing, guys? All right, let's get her rolling, man. And we're going to start off with a real barn burner as the Houston Texans travel to the sultry swampland of Miami to take on the Dolphins. Somebody's got to be favored here, Scott, and it's the Dolphins, favored by 6. We're getting Tyrod back. If nobody stabs him in the heart with a needle, he should be good to go. Does that not make any difference for you here?
It does. I'm taking Houston.
Okay.
I can't lay this with Miami.
No way.
Tua's also got a messed up finger, which I'm assuming he'll play through, but you're missing Devontae Parker, so that's going to be an issue. He went on the IR yesterday. You have really no weapons on offense. Your defense underperformed all year. Your quarterback's really not that great, which is why you were trying to allegedly trade for an alleged rapist because you don't really like your current quarterback. Can I say that?
I guess you said alleged, so.
I mean, it is what it is, so I'm guessing they're not too thrilled with Tua right now as an organization. I'm taking Houston because we saw with Tyrod for about a game and a half, he looked good. So I think they'll move the ball. I think they got a shot to win the game. I'm not going to pick them to win the game, but do I think Miami's not only going to win, but to win by margin? No, I'll take Houston.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. This is a Miami team that is both these teams are 1-7. Miami is just 2-6 against the spread. At least Houston's covered 4-4. Tyrod makes all the difference for me in this one. this is a Miami defense that just cannot stop the pass. So if Houston can get anything going vertically at all, I like their chance to win. I think that's a good. I think it's a money line sprinkle for sure. AJS says he likes the Bengals. We'll talk about that pretty darn quick, man. We're gonna get to it. So as far as the total goes, Scott, both of these teams certainly struggle on offense, but they pay you back by also struggling on defense. So
I'm going to take the over.
You're gonna play you think one of these teams busts out?
I don't know about busts out, but I do think both teams should get into the 20s just because of the fact that Tyrod looked really comfortable for the first couple of games. And Tua, you can roast him all you want. He has been better. I'm not going to include the Bills game because the Bills are really good. You're playing in Buffalo. We all knew Tua was going to struggle in that game. But he had 4 touchdowns against Atlanta. He's looked pretty good lately. I like the over. I think you'll see some points.
Okay, very good. Broncos at Cowboys. Cowboys minus the 10.49 is the total here.
Can you really make a case for Denver besides the fact that maybe a backdoor cover? Because they traded Von Miller, so they're half punting, I guess, off of a win, which I find interesting. But you traded your best defensive player. You have an offense which could barely move the ball against Washington. You're against the Cowboys team with a healthy or a healthy-ish Dak who should be back in the lineup. And the Cowboys are undefeated against the spread. So if you're picking Denver, you're kind of up against it, aren't you?
Yes. Sorry. I just reacting to a stupid penalty. Here's the thing. As far as it's funny of the two different attitudes in the AFC West with the Chiefs and the Broncos. Both those teams had a win last week. They both got to 4-4. Chiefs are saying, you know what? I think we still got a shot to get to the Super Bowl, maybe even win the West. Broncos fans are like, fuck it. We need to trade Von Miller and blow it up. So it's two different attitudes for teams that are in basically the same exact spot. It's one of the situations for me, Scott. You look at it like you were talking. What area do you like the Broncos? Do you like their offense better than Denver's offense? You like their defense better than better than Dallas? You like their defense better than the Dallas defense? No. This is a Denver defense that looks okay. Good early.
Yeah, it's good against bad teams, but bad against good teams.
Right.
And the Cowboys have a pretty good offense.
They held Cleveland to 17, and then all of a sudden we found out, that Cleveland can't score anymore.
It was Case Keenum, Cleveland.
Well, that's right. But
I don't even know if that matters at this point. But
that was the game he got hurt.
That was the Thursday night game where Case Keenum played.
Oh yeah. You're right. Sorry, but then Cleveland did nothing last week with Baker back. So, and didn't they have another stinker right before that too?
I don't really recall, but I know that Dallas is the much better team. I'll take them, especially with Dak back. I do think that provides a boost. They're off a huge win, huge against the Vikings, but a Sunday night game where they're playing with house money, using a backup quarterback, and they managed to basically extend their lead in the NFC East. This Cowboys team's really good. I think they're going to lay it on the Broncos here.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing good to say about the Broncos and as far as having a shot to cover this.
Let's just say that if Denver's going to cover, they're going to do a great job with the turnover battle.
Yeah, it's going to have to be like a 2-touchdown lead. Like you said, they sneak in the back door there in the fourth quarter. I'll take the Cowboys as well. As far as the total goes, it gets a little tricky. I just don't see that Dallas defense giving up much to Denver.
I'm going with the under anyway, because even with Dak playing, I'm assuming there might be a little bit of rust because he's still not 100%. He's definitely, I'd say, close to 80. But do I think that Dallas will struggle a bit at times? Yes. Are they going to call off the dogs at some point? Maybe. But it wouldn't surprise me if Dallas is coasting and they just start running the ball for the entire fourth quarter.
All right. Agreed. Yeah, Browns backer, they've tied it up and they're about to take the lead, buddy. That's Wake Forest got the ball back and turned it over on downs at about the 30 or so.
What a great game.
Well, I'll let you know if it's a great game in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds of game time.
I just love how little defense was played.
Yeah, that was, there was one of those things where you look at the total was 76 or whatever.
Yeah.
And
got there in about 2.5 quarters.
God, he bobbled that ball. Heartbreaking. Anyway, yeah, you just look at it and you go, well, this is exactly how it should play out. Neither one of these teams plays much defense. It should be 100 points. And then part of you goes, you know what? Every once in a while, there's a twist. And That's why I took
I
perhaps
was biased. I saw Wake Forest and Army combined for 120 something points, so I was just going over or nothing.
I know, and it's one of those times where you look at it and it works out exactly the way you think it would. So, Minnesota, Baltimore, Scott, Baltimore hosting the Vikes, 6-point favorites, 50
Are you surprised Zimmer's still the coach?
is the number there. Vikings 3-4 on the year, just kind of treading water there in the north. No, but
He shouldn't be the coach.
if they go 3-7, he won't be the coach.
I don't know how you lose against a backup quarterback, and you're already in the middle of a massive underperforming season. How do you keep your job? How do you get on the flight after the game?
I don't know, man. That was a.
It was embarrassing.
It really, I was trying to think of a nicer word, but
And the refs even gifted Minnesota 3 separate first downs on the one drive, and they settled for a field goal anyway.
yeah, that's and they just this pass defense for Minnesota, dude, is just it's not good. It's not good at all. And Baltimore, they had their problems with Cincinnati before the bye week, but I think they spent that week getting right. I've got to think they cover this number here.
I agree. Baltimore's off the bye. I'll trust Harbaugh off the bye.
Yeah. They're not quite. They're a typical Minnesota team where they're just not quite good enough to be good.
Minnesota's the team that you see every year that's destined to go 8-8, but now they have to go 8-9.
Mm-hmm.
They're just heading for 500 if it was any given year.
Yep, you're right. As far as the total goes,
I'm going with the under.
This is where you and I are going to split. I'm going to play the over. I'm just looking at that.
I don't blame you because Minnesota's defense has been awful at times.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, buddy. So
I am hoping, because of the under, that Kirk Cousins has another classic Kirk Cousins game. And decent amount of yards, barely any touchdowns.
Fair enough. The Patriots at the Panthers. Pats laying 3.5 on the road. Oh,
is that a playoff team?
The Patriots?
I think they might be.
Yeah. I didn't believe in them, but
They're winning me over.
They made a believer out of me last week going out to LA.
Just saying, to make the playoffs right now, I see yes at around plus 130.
I think that's a good play.
With 7 spots, I think they got a shot. I think Cleveland might fall apart, but that's a separate story.
Well, I mean, I'd have to look at the. Let me look at the rankings here, or the standings.
I do think the win against the Chargers is going to help potentially with the head-to-head, but that assumes the Chargers obviously don't win the division.
Yeah, I got to think the Chargers are pretty good shape there. I don't know. The Raiders somehow still lead that division.
Yeah,
but you've got a bunch of teams. Yeah, Chargers at 4-3, so they could potentially be fighting them for the wild card. Nobody in the South is over 500 except Tennessee. You're gonna have 2 playoff teams come out of the North. Is that how that's gonna come out? The Bengals and the Steelers. Maybe the Browns.
You'd see me in 3 teams.
Well,
one team would have to win the division.
Well, I
mean, Steelers. You mean the Ravens?
Adding to the Patriots.
You mean the Ravens?
Yeah, are you going to get all the playoff teams out of that?
The Steelers are not going to get in. I think that Baltimore is going to get in. My hot take is I am not sure the North isn't going to get more than 1 team in. The Cincinnati team, I think, is good enough to make the playoffs, but I am curious after losing to the Jets. Are they going to bounce back?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to implode? They've been playing with house money, but that's the type of game where they fall back down to earth, and suddenly you might see the wheels fall off. It still remains to be seen, but it wouldn't surprise me if Cincinnati struggles a bit down the stretch. You? Very young team as well, young head coach.
I'm concerned about the defense. The defense, I think, played over their head. I think the offense maybe came around a little quicker, but that's a hell of a good offense. They've got some great some great skill position players. I thought the defense may be a little overperforming, so we'll see. As far as this one goes, I got Patriots all day. They convinced me by doing it against the Chargers.
I'm taking New England as well.
Panthers are fine, but
they're probably going to have a backup quarterback because there's no guarantee Darnold's going to play. I don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade, right. But I do think that on one hand, you have the quote-unquote rookie quarterback angle, kind of, with Walker. On the other hand, I'm seeing Ghost Darnold against Belichick. So either way, I don't see Carolina scoring many points.
No, I'm going to have to play the under there. I think just one
Yeah.
team contributes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Mac Jones has actually proven that he's a pretty solid quarterback.
Bills, Jags, 14 in the hook. Scott, 48 and a half is the
I don't know if we have to spend that much time on this game. You think there's any chance the Jaguars sneak in the back door? Because I think they're going to lose this game by 30. I think they're going to get buried in this game.
Yeah, they're not a good team. They don't win and they don't cover. And Buffalo, in spite of playing some of the biggest spreads of anybody on the season, 5-2 to the number, dude. We're taking all chalk here, but this ain't going to be where I'm going to break ranks.
I agree.
I'll take the Bills. And
I think Buffalo also did not look that sharp against Miami. So I think that McDermott's going to get into his players a little bit and tell them, you got to start playing up to your potential because you've been underperforming the last couple of weeks. I think the Bills bury this team.
I think the Bills put up 35. I'll take the over.
I think they might score 40 in this game. I don't know how I can back Jacksonville when they got killed by a Geno Smith team last week.
It could be 45-7 too.
I like the over. I think garbage time is going to be a beautiful thing for Jacksonville to potentially score. And Robinson, not 100%. I think that they might lean to the pass a bit more because the run doesn't really work that much. Garbage time, I do think, is going to help out. But we know Urban's going to go for it on 4th and 4, 4th and 3, all these random spots on the field. If they fail a couple of 4th down conversions in plus territory, that's how you might lose an over like this.
Yep, short field. Is James Robinson banged up? I mean,
he's going to play. It just seems like he's still dealing with an injury for the last couple of weeks. It was a heel issue a couple of weeks ago, which is why Carlos Hyde has gotten a little bit more run for the last couple of weeks. But the point is, I think Jacksonville's going to be forced to throw, and Jacksonville and garbage time are a pretty solid marriage. I'll go with the over.
Yeah, good. This is a team that they got a lot of problems, but they certainly miss Chark.
Yep.
Just saying. A team that doesn't have many good skill position players, they're missing their best one. That stings. So now the game that you guys were talking about, Jerry, I think you're right. I think plus 130 for New England to make the playoffs right now. I think that's a good play. You're getting what 6.5 to 5. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, I agree. I said before, that's why I brought it up, because I don't even know if it's Mac Jones or just Belichick's system. The thing I like about the Patriots is the fact that they let everybody else around them fall apart, and they just won't turn the ball over. So if they just maintain time of possession, don't do anything stupid, and let the defense do their thing, they'll find a way to win a bunch of games. It's the Belichick system.
Yep, agreed. All right. So next up is the game that a lot of people are talking about. That says the Cleveland-Cincinnati game. Big game there in the North, Scott. I think they're all going to be big games in the North. Cincinnati 2.5 point favorites. 47.5 is the number. So, like we talked about earlier, this is a Cleveland team, regardless of who's quarterbacking them. They've kind of gone in the deep freeze as far as scoring goes, putting up just 41 points in their last 3 games. 2 of those which have been losses. Of course, they snuck out the win there over Denver on with Case Keenum. So yeah, the question really comes down to, does this Cincinnati team rebound, and can the Cleveland offense find a way to get it done?
There's nothing I like about Cleveland right now. And I know that's not going to make Brownsbacker happy in the comment section, but what exactly do I like about this team? I know the defense is fine. Myles Garrett, great pass rusher, I know. But I don't really know how I can back Cleveland if whichever quarterback they use doesn't really look that good. Can Cleveland score 24 points? I don't know. They'll be fine potentially long term, but in the short term, I have my doubts because Baker's clearly playing with multiple injuries in his arm or his shoulder. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they'll bounce back at home.
So we've got a couple of guys happy in the comment section. Brownsbacker just hit his 3-team teaser with Ohio State -8, and Jerry got the Huskers cover. So everybody's happy. It's a beautiful thing. Meanwhile, I'm unhappy as I'm currently losing by a half point in this Wake Forest game, as they did hold them from out of the end zone. But
I'm surprised you didn't take the money line.
You know what? I probably should. Well, yeah, I probably should have. I honestly, I thought it was 3.5 in my head,
Okay.
and I was because I had to check it today, and so it was 2.5. I'm like, God damn it.
This might be one of those games where you either take the money line or you actually take the points because there's a chance that one of these teams goes for 2 if they're
Mhm.
down if they're down 1 with like a minute to go.
Yeah, the 58, 57 type game or whatever.
Mhm.
As far as this goes, you know,
Cincinnati really underperformed, but people say that they just had a no-show. I don't think they no-showed. I think the defense just got overwhelmed by the fact that Mike White's actually decent, but the
no,
offense still put up 31 points. So I didn't think the offense was bad. I think that the defense was awful. I think they'll bounce back. I really have an issue trusting Baker with the fact that it clearly looks like he has issues throwing the ball more than 20 yards down the field. Now, Odell's not there, whether that's good or bad, because he was a complete non-factor whenever he played with Baker for the last couple of years. But the injuries with Baker's hand, with his arm, I can't ignore it, you know?
yeah, I agree. AJS is Landry's an amazing player. Yeah, is there anybody like I know there are, but he's one of the most underrated players.
Landry's very, very good, but
When he can
I know
stay
he's
healthy.
going to play in this game. Yeah, are we sure he's going to make it the entire game?
Yeah, that's the thing. As far as the total goes, were you on the under?
I got to take the under. I'm not sure Cleveland's going to score that much.
Yep, I'm with you. Raiders coming to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. The first place Raiders, by the way. So
Definitely not the first place Giants.
Raiders -3 on the road. 46.5 is the number. Well, Scott, you saw the Giants play on Monday night, coming back on a short week there. Did they show you enough Monday night to make you tremble in fear if you're a Raiders fan?
This is my bold call, or kind of bold because it's only a 3-point spread. But I usually go with a couple underdogs that I think are going to win outright. The Giants are
Mhm.
one of them. I'm taking the Giants.
God,
I think it's a good spot. I think that anytime you're fading a West Coast team going to the East Coast, there definitely is some historical trends that support that. But I can't get past the fact that the Giants defense has played better the last couple of weeks. The Raiders, of course, now without Ruggs. Waller's been a non-factor for the last couple of weeks. I know they're off bye, but I'm not really sure if I like the Raiders playing outdoors in the East Coast in cold weather. I'm going to take the Giants.
I'm with you. Nathan Cerna hit a 10-unit play last night. Well done, sir. Always a nice way to start your weekend on Friday night.
10 units. What do you have? The under in the Boston College Virginia Tech game?
All right.
Just going out on a limb. You have the under in the Boston College game?
I've got the Giants in this one too. Just the Raiders don't travel east traditionally very well, and I know
How big of a distraction do you think the Ruggs situation is?
I think it's a distraction. I don't know what kind of difference it makes, but it certainly makes a difference as far as the offense goes.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes a difference for the distraction angle or the fact that Ruggs is their big play receiver. Now they don't have that, so I'm expecting everything to be underneath.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the disappearing act of Waller has been one of the bigger mysteries of this season. As they targeted him 19 times in the opener, and then he's pretty much been the great disappearing man after that.
I think the Raiders just tipped their hand after week 1 because everyone knew, wait a second, if we triple team this guy, they got nobody else.
I'm doing zigzag here on my totals. I like the over here, bud.
Yeah, I'm going with the under.
Okay.
I think that the Giants are going to win. I'm expecting a low-scoring game. And the Giants, we know, with all the injuries to the receiving core, are also not exactly built with Jason Garrett to score a bunch of points. So I do think you're going to see them settle for 4th and 2 field goals because Joe Judge still believes it's 1980. And you're going to see a bunch of Graham Gano kicks, which might win them the game. They're not going to help out the total. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the under.
Okay, fair enough. No flag? Brutal.
Wake Forest lost?
Yep. Tough way to lose.
I believe I had North Carolina on the show. It's not over that yet, though. Wake Forest.
Wait a minute. Oh, there is a flag. Hang on. What's
Wake
the
Forest.
flag?
It's going to be celebration at the end.
Yeah, probably. You're ahead of me, so you actually know that.
I'm not ahead of you. I can't even have a stream right now. I'm not in front of the TV.
Saints -6 at home against the Falcons. Saints quarterback, Scott, you ready?
I really thought it would be Taysom Hill. In fact, I wrote a fantasy football article earlier in the week making the argument that people should try to pick up Taysom Hill. And now it turns out Trevor Simeon's going to be the quarterback. I don't really know why that's the case, but Simeon, I guess, looked decent in relief against Tampa. He wasn't great or anything. And we know Hill isn't a great thrower, but he's not in concussion protocol anymore. We know that Hill should probably have a decent role in this game anyway, whether it's going to be some goal line wildcat, quote unquote, packages, whether it's going to be him potentially just alternating series. I'm not sure what they're going to actually do for this matchup. I can't take Atlanta. They got no Ridley, of course, because he's no longer there. Matt Ryan looked awful last week. The team stinks. I'm going to go with New Orleans. I think they're going to win the game handily.
Well, that is just a brutal way to lose that one.
You?
Oh, sorry. I'm just too caught up there.
I'm going with New Orleans. I just think that they're the better team. The defense looked really good last week. And Matt Ryan, is going to throw at least 1 or 2 picks.
No. I want no. Trevor Simeon, no, thank you.
I'm going to do it.
No. Laying points with Trevor Simeon? Okay.
I have no faith in the Falcons at all.
God bless you. All right. I'm playing the Falcons there. By
the way, fun fact, you might actually be alive in this thing. Because I don't know why they would ever go for 2 if they score a touchdown, but stranger things have happened.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm screwed.
You're screwed anyway, but you can live, you can hope, I guess.
That's a brutal way to lose a premium with a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Not ideal.
Fuck. Okay. The total is interesting because it's low, and obviously you're not thinking there's going to be a lot of offense. This New Orleans defense is very, very stout. You know what? I'll play the under there too.
I'm going with the under. Whether it's going to be Hill or Simeon, I'm expecting a defensive game from New Orleans. Run the clock. Don't do anything stupid. Let Matt Ryan fumble over himself. And I think that'll win the game handily, but I think that the game is going to go under.
With you. Eagles, they'll be hosting the Chargers. Chargers 2-point road favorites traveling to the East Coast.
I'm really torn on that game because the Eagles looked really good against the worst team in the league last week. As a whole, they're not very good. Now, the Eagles, we know, ran the ball a ton last week, which is not something that Sirianni does. He mostly throws the ball. And Jalen Hurts somehow had no touchdowns despite the Eagles scoring 44 points. Now, you're playing the Chargers, who have one of the worst run defenses in the league, but I feel like the Chargers are being disrespected here. You?
No, I think a 2-point road favorite. I think, to be made a road favorite, I think that's a pretty good sign of respect. And again,
I just feel like a couple weeks ago, wouldn't you agree a couple weeks ago, though, that this line would have been closer to like 5?
Yeah, probably, but that was before the Chargers let New England beat them in their house.
Pretty much.
You take. I assume since you think the Chargers are being disrespected, you're going to play them here.
It's a tough call, but I'm going to go with the Chargers because I do think they're the better football team.
Okay.
I don't think the Eagles are very good. I'm not going to overreact to beating the Lions.
No, that's fair enough, but I am going to react to the Chargers not being able to stop the run. So I know.
I'm just saying, who did the Chargers lose to the last 2 weeks? They lost to the Ravens, a playoff team, and the Patriots, who we think is going to be a playoff team. The Eagles are not going to be a playoff team. So I do think they'll look better against weaker competition.
Fair enough. As far as the total goes, I got it. I'll break my string. I'll play the under here. I'm really torn.
I'm going to go with the over.
All right.
I think you'll see a 28-24 type of game.
Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. Browns backer says, first time I've seen a handicapper's reaction to a bet. It's great self-control.
I'll throw something after we end the show.
No, it's dude, it's a grind. You know the drill. I don't do a victory dance if I hit one, and I don't throw shit if I lose. It's
just saying. Wake Forest at the 21-yard line. 55 seconds left.
They're not going to go for 2. There's no way they go for the 2.
You can live to dream, man. You can live to dream.
Oh, look at this. Valpo with the interception. Heartbreaker. Time expires in the first half.
What's the score?
38-28. So they're exactly where
Okay.
they need to be to
All right,
cover
that's
the
fine.
team. All
How
right,
close are they to
buddy.
a touchdown on that?
I got to inside the 20, but
Eh,
he was pinned against the sideline, had no shot.
flip the ball. No
Anybody
time
else?
left.
Anybody else have trouble betting Valpo today?
I'm assuming most people did. I saw it got uploaded late. Even on one of my locals, it actually got uploaded late. But I did see 19 at
Yeah.
some point. So
Okay. Packers and Chiefs, Scott. No Aaron Rodgers.
do you want to lay 7 with Kansas City?
Not on your life.
I don't either.
Show me the love right there. This is a team we talked about it. They're either depending on what you do, they're either 2-15-1 or 3-16 against the number of their last 19 games. I want no part of that. You know what? I fell for them last week because they were playing against another shitty team from the NFC East. But this is not a shitty team from the NFC East. It's a good team. I think Jordan Love is going to be better than people expect. Or is he going to be Aaron Rodgers? Probably not. Is he going to be good enough to cover the number against the Chiefs? He is. Is he going to be good enough to beat the Chiefs? Most likely he is. I think that's a great money line play there as well. I want no part of the boys in red until they show me something on defense. Give me the Packers right there, plus 7.5.
So I'm not going to go as far as the money line. I think that's a bit excessive. I think Kansas City's going to win the game, but they couldn't move the ball much against the Giants, and the Packers defense has been better lately. I'll take the points. My favorite play on the game is the under. I think you're going to see the Packers try to rely more on the ground game to get their new quarterback a little bit more comfortable. I expect to see a lot of Dillon, a lot of Jones. I think you'll see a lot of just clock eating, trying to keep Mahomes off the field. So I'm going to go and take the under as my favorite play on that game.
Well, and it helps that the Chiefs have a horrible run defense as well. So
Yep.
I'm gonna play the under.
I would be shocked if Love throws the ball more than 30 times unless they're trailing by a bunch in the first half.
Probably true. AJS is Herbert's been off lately, and I agree with that.
Yes.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
It's the league adjusting to him. So now you got to see what kind of adjustments they can make back. You know, it's kind of like pitchers and hitters when they first come up and they league adjust. So yeah, it's always curious to see what they do their sophomore season. Cardinals at 49ers, Scott. 49ers, 2.5-point home favorites.
This line completely flew in the span of the last day or so because, according to some reports, whether it's from the higher ups in Arizona or just the rumor mill, it seems like Kyler Murray is not going to play. I can't back Arizona if Kyler's not going to play.
No, it's a completely different team. I'm just looking to see what the
Colt McCoy.
The injury status of him is.
He might not play. Hopkins might not play. Arizona might punt this game.
It's certainly possible that they. Yeah, I could. If you're going to do it, it's not a bad spot to do it. Although ideally, you wouldn't want to do it
against the division rival
in a division game.
Yeah,
but AJ Green's going to be out. Like you said, Hopkins and Murray are both questionable.
Am I wrong for kind of thinking that the Cowboys Sunday night game actually might play a factor here? Because if the Cowboys won with a backup quarterback, maybe we don't need to use Murray for this game. Do you think that's potentially a thought process that's carrying over throughout the league?
Maybe we could steal one here against inferior competition.
Yeah, maybe. We saw how good the backups did last week.
Browns backer City loves Green Bay. It was plus 7.5. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir there, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna. I guess we have to make a pick, right? You know what? I'll take the Niners. Usually, when there's when there's suspicious line move like that, there's a reason. And even though we're chasing the steam a little bit late, I still think it's a better play than playing Colt McCoy.
Yeah, it's solely injury reaction based, but Murray was arguably the favorite to win the MVP. It's a huge downgrade. I'll take the 49ers.
If Hopkins and Murray go,
I think Murray's going to be, 50%? I mean, it's a leg issue. He can't move.
Right. Oh, Jerry says he back to a push. Should have jumped on it +3. Wake Forest is going to go back to break my heart by a half a fucking point.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did. The game's over.
Now can I throw something? 45 is the number. You know what? They ain't gonna if Arizona ain't gonna score, it ain't going over. I'll take the under.
I have to take the under.
Arizona's still playing decent defense, and
You saw the first game. I know that the Niners had a backup quarterback for that game, but it was 17-10.
Yeah.
These teams get together, they're usually low scoring. I'll take the under.
Okay. Finish it up with the Titans and Rams, Scooter. Rams 7-point home favorites. Titans feel like they might be missing somebody. 53 is the total.
They're missing a king. You ever try playing chess without a king? It's impossible to win.
It's impossible to win. I want no part of the Titans here, buddy.
I can't. The thing is, the Titans have been phenomenal underdogs, so it's really tempting to take a shot with them. But Henry's the entire team.
You can literally toss out all your offensive stats.
You can toss out everything.
They mean nothing.
The defense we know
the defense still sucks.
The defense isn't that great.
No.
It's been okay at times, but the Rams have been very good. We know that the Rams getting Von Miller, who's probably going to play in this game, should help the pass rush.
Yep.
The secondary is good. If you want to take Tennessee, I think it's a backdoor move, but I got to take the Rams, especially at 7. I think it was 7.5 earlier in the week.
It stinks a little bit, you know.
It does.
I get that, and it could jump up and bite you. Tennessee, good team, but they're an average team with Derrick Henry gone at best with that defense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
AJ Brown's going to need to go for like 200 yards.
As far as the points go, I'm going to have to play the over there, bud. I think Tennessee's going to be forced to throw the ball.
I agree.
And
I think the Rams will score 30-something.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see the Titans be able to move the ball a bit. I think you'll see the Rams probably finish with 34.
35-21 is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I see like a 34-24 type of game.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right. So we agree a lot. We've got a few differences of opinions, but
I think your opinions stink. Is that better? Are we supposed to sell controversy or something?
Do you ever get tired of fucking being wrong?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the only thing to do is do what we do. Get ready for our 5,000 star whale play. Fade the Public Sharks 1 million unit lock of the century. Hey, losers walk.
So for this one, I'm going back to the Kyler Murray game against the Niners. And even though he's not officially going to play, I'm assuming that he is not going to. I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this game at 45.5 at -110 on BetMGM. First time they played, Garoppolo wasn't there. I think we would agree that Garoppolo anyway is a mediocre quarterback. I think that's a fair way to put it. But that game ended 17-10. Arizona's defense has been pretty good as an overall unit this season. Niners defense has not. However, I do think facing off against Colt McCoy is going to help out. Besides that, you mentioned the injuries to the receiving core. Does Arizona have really any weapons for this game? It really doesn't feel like it. They have Christian Kirk, a little bit of Rondale Moore. You said Green was out, correct?
Yes.
Hopkins, I don't think is going to play if Murray doesn't play. So I think Arizona might just roll over, run the ball, try to play time of possession. And the Niners have Mitchell, who's banged up, who's their best running back. And besides Deebo Samuel, nobody else has really done anything in the passing game. Kittle's coming back, which might help a little bit. But I really don't see how Arizona is going to contribute much with Colt McCoy. The Niners could win this game. They could lose this game because they are winless at home. But I do think this total's too high. I'll take the under.
Okay, very good. Browns backer says letdown game for Tennessee. I don't see how it is. I mean, I know that sometimes you get the situation where they rally the troops and everybody pulls together and goes out there and wins one for Derek, but I don't think that's the case in this one. I agree with you. I agree with you, BB. For me, Scott, I'm going to play one literally and figuratively a little close to home. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers plus the 7.5 points. The team that I saw play on Monday night against the New York Giants would not have beat very many teams. And I think all of those teams basically are in the NFC East, with the exception of possibly Jacksonville. That's it. This team is playing terrible football on both sides of the ball right now. And as a Chiefs fan, we tend to have our rose-colored glasses on and say, well, we've seen Pat Mahomes. He's going to get better, blah, blah, blah. every game we come out and he doesn't get any better. The offense is still struggling to run the ball without Allaire, and the defense is it's redefining what a shitty defense is. They are giving up yards at a historic pace as far as and especially on the ground. Now playing the Giants helped. I think this is a good Green Bay team, even without Aaron Rodgers. I think Jordan Love steps in and does fine. He's been with this team, 3 years now? This is his third season in Green Bay. He's had an opportunity to sit and learn from one of the best there ever was. I think he'll be fine. Give me the green and gold plus 7.5.
I think it's the second year, but the point still stands. Either way, yeah, I think that Kansas City is inventing a new type of defense called the break but don't bend defense.
Yeah,
because they skip the bend phase. They just give up a bunch of points.
Awful. Just awful.
Bad. But
so it will pain me to root against my team, which you
have a middle in there.
Correct. I could still win by 3. So
yeah,
it's certainly possible. So anyway, you want to plug your UFC video?
Yeah, I made a UFC video on the upcoming card. Get excited. Covington versus Usman part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I'm not going. It's in MSG, but I was unable to go. So it is what it is. I'll enjoy watching it on TV.
It's in MSG and you're not going?
Yeah, I ended up having a couple of relatives stay for a family wedding. So we're going out for celebratory drinks.
God, dude, you do a wedding like every month. Somebody you know is getting married.
It's a Jewish thing, man. Everyone's getting married all the time.
Well, Gentiles get married too.
I know, but it seems like Jewish people just never run out of people to get married. And it's such like a close-knit community, so you know everybody.
And they don't divorce, right?
Some of them do.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, divorce is a little bit more complicated because you have to get divorced in a legal way and a Jewish legality way. So there's 2 separate areas you got to go through. But I'm not going to go through the actual process of a get. But still, I'll get some drinks. Hopefully the game's on at the restaurant or bar, or the fight, I should say. But if not, I'll be devastated and my day will be ruined.
So this is a good enough as me as a casual fan. This is a good enough time for me. This is a good time for me to steal these. Buy that stream.
Well, when it comes to buying a stream, quote unquote, this is one of the best cards of the year for at least the last couple of years. It's a phenomenal card from top to bottom.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, that's going to do it, guys. Just to recap, I've got Green Bay plus 7.5.
And I have the Cardinals and 49ers under 45.5.
Scott doesn't. He says you don't sound Jewish.
I complain all the time. I don't know what more you want.
I'm going to tell you something. You guys are never going to be able to unhear this. He sounds like a miniature Jackie Mason when he gets going. And the Chiefs are going to have the defense, and the Green Bay Packers are going to score, and that's the way it's going to go. And
pretty much.
So
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, Jerry, but thanks.
It's very fine. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're going to try to make this, I don't know, Scott, regular time. Are we going to do it? Just call it regular time on Saturdays for our NFL show?
Yeah, what was it, 3:23?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll make it up some point mid-afternoon.
All right. You guys have a great day. Hey, man, I hope those college games keep going well for you or get turned around, whichever the case may be. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments. Always a pleasure. We'll see you guys. We have a day off, Scott. We'll see you Monday on Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. Everybody have a good one. We'll see you then. Good luck tomorrow. Let's win some NFL games too. All right. You guys take care.